Hello everybody, this is Zaxter99. Yeah, I know it's been a while, but I am going to go ahead and continue my playthrough of an Octave Higher. This will actually be part 6. It's been a while since I've actually recorded part 5. So we are going to go ahead and continue where we last left off right after this. Zaxter99. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to go ahead and continue again. This is part 6 of an Octave Higher, and we're going to go ahead and jump back into this game. Like I said, it's been about 4.5 months since I did part 5, so a long time. I think that last part was kind of blah. I'm really hoping that if I finish this story and if I finish this game with it being probably about 24-25 parts long from the looks of it, I hope that it has a payoff. And as you can see here, this is where I'm coming up with where I'm at. I got 5 parts, about 30 minutes each in, and we're only about 20% done. So as you can see, all these parts remain. And here we are. I've done 5 parts, and we have only done part of this one. So we still have a lot of this story and a lot of this game left to do. So I'm hoping that this is worth it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. This is going to be an Octave Higher Part 6. We're going to go ahead and continue from where I left off last back in May. So here we go. I catch up to him outside the conference hall. Excuse me. I'm Frederick now. Oh, hi, Franz says. Frederick says, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Frederick Godwin. I am here as a representative from Magical Mechanical. His mouth is agape for a second while hearing my name. Godwin is a name that carries weight in this town, thanks to my father, Geoff Godwin, the founder of Magical Mechanical, or MM. Francis, it is very nice to meet you, Lord Godwin. I am Franz Byron, a magical science student at this conservatoire. I think we ran into each other before? Lord Godwin is what people call my father. You can just call me by my first name. The student looks startled, but soon regains his composure. Is that really okay? Alright. Nice to meet you, Frederick. I was being polite, you damn peasant. He should at least have the good sense to continue to use my title despite my offer. What a little imbecile. Ahem. I was wondering why you picked compassion magic as your research topic. And so now we switch to Franz. Why did I pick compassion magic as my research topic? Excellent question. I was wondering about that myself. My research topic is quite unusual, I admit. A machine that can work with compassion magic, or a machine on which compassion magic will have an effect. Unbelievable. So there was a report of a kid fixing her doll with heel. So what? I wish somebody would have pointed out the obvious. That's what is known as anecdotal evidence in layman's term. Unscientific. Well, unscientific is not technically a layman's term, but my point is that it is crazy to form a hypothesis based on unverified reports. I mean, the first machine was invented 3 decades ago, and for 3 decades we've known that machines don't work with compassion. It's not as if during these 3 decades our best scientists haven't been trying to make them do. The only reason I'm doing the research, of course, is because Professor Poe pushed it onto me. I really had no choice. He's one of the most respected and brilliant minds in magical science. You don't say no to Professor Poe. Huh. That even rhymes. Gods, how am I ever going to graduate? Hi, you. Oh, sorry. I was lost in thought. Well, as I said in the presentation, scientific knowledge of compassion magic would have the potential to unlock all kinds of useful inventions, like compassion magic machines. Speaking of magic machines, I suddenly realized something important. I'm speaking to an MM representative, and he just so happens to be the son of Lord Godwin. MM and Lord Godwin give the most funding to research projects, especially those that might make money for MM. If I can convince this guy that my research can become the basis of MM's future products, I may receive a research grant. Franz, if we can successfully build compassion magic machines, we'll be able to revolutionize the medical industry. Imagine this. Wounds that are easily treatable with a machine, medical equipment for hospitals, the whole experience of healthcare modernized. We might even be able to make medical equipment that can treat diseases, rather than just ease pain. Now, time to go for the kill. In fact, it would be a huge benefit to MM's bottom line if they could get into the healthcare business. They might even speed things up by funding my research. Ha ha. I stop talking and wait for a reaction while observing Frederick's face. No reaction. Maybe I was being too obtuse. Francis. So I was thinking that if maybe we could talk about how my research could benefit MM in some way, that might be... Yes, I think it's interesting, Frederick says. Excellent. Now I can talk about getting research funding. Well, good luck on your final year project. Talk to you later. Wait, what? Wait. I stopped Frederick from walking away. Well, I was thinking, will you have time to talk more about this? I have lots of ideas that I'd like to run by you. His eyebrows twitch. His lips are pressed tightly together. I don't have the authority at MM to approve funds for research projects. I am only here because my father, Lord Godwin, wanted me to attend the symposium. I see. Well, can you introduce me to someone who normally deals with research projects? No. He turns and walks away from me. Is there... He turns to me again, his eyes wide and lips pursed. Just like he discovered a dog pooping on his front yard. Wow. But suddenly he smiles. I feel that something is wrong here, but then again, everyone smiles differently. Frederick says, actually, there is somebody you can talk to regarding your research. He puts his hand into his pocket and takes out a crumpled piece of paper. Just go to that address. I read the address on the paper. I don't recognize the street name. Oh, thank you very much. Who should I speak with when I get there? Ask for Maida. You know what? Ask for Miss Bouvier. Miss Bouvier will be able to help you out. Wow. Okay. Francis, got it. Thank you very much, Frederick. His eyebrows twitch again. Did I pronounce his name wrong? Frederick says, don't mention it. He walks away. He doesn't look like he'll be coming back. Well, in fact, I don't have anything to do here either. Professor Poe has already given me permission to go home after I'm done with my presentation. I look at the piece of paper I got from Frederick. I don't recognize the street name, but I know the district. It's a bit far, near the outskirts of Overture, but I can get there by the omnibus. Maybe I should pay this Miss Bouvier a visit. There aren't many students outside because most of them are still in class. I also don't see Aretha anywhere. The sun is still high. Looking at my chronometer, I learn that there's still more than 2 hours until the sun sets. I should be able to arrive at my destination before the end of the day. Shortly after I cross the street, an omnibus comes. At this hour, the omnibus is nearly empty, even this close to the city center. The commute took more than 1 hour, and I'm finally close to the place I'm looking for. Now I just need to find the place. I look for the street signs. As soon as I find one, I walk over to it. Unfortunately, there are no signs that bear the street name written on the paper, but there is one that sounds similar. I try going that way. I plod from street sign to street sign. Almost everything is unreliable. At times, I have to double back to try different ways. After wandering for who knows how long, I find that it's almost sundown. I'm walking along a river, a stone's throw away from a big curved bridge that crosses the water. I head to the bridge and cross it. After arriving at the other end, I realize that I've never been to this part of the city. I continue strolling through a road that gets narrower with every block I pass. It's also getting dark, or rather gloomy. Has the sun totally set? I look around and catch a glimpse of a man in shabby clothing sitting on the dusty pavement near an intersection, his back rested against the wall of a dirty-looking bookstore. I avoid directing my gaze at him, but as I walk past him, I notice he's missing an arm. In fact, both of them. A feeling of pity for this man wells up within me. I know why he's sitting on the pavement. Without hands, it is impossible to cast magic. Without magic, it is impossible to have any reasonable expectation of a good life. In this society, people like him are the lowest of the low. However small they may be in number, they are the sole level of society that exists without hope. I would sooner die than be like him. May the gods have mercy on him. Seeing this amputee makes me understand where I actually am. This must be a proletariat district. That explains why everything looks dreary, smells noxious, and feels unclean. Why am I in a proles district? Did I get the address wrong? Finally, I find a sign that bears a street name I'm looking for. I follow the sign. Here it is. This is the address written on the paper. The house is big and luxurious, but it's not what I had expected. I double check and triple check the address, but this is really it. The name of Miss Bouvier is even written above the door. Maison de Beauvoir. What is this place? This is definitely not an ordinary house. Should I knock on the door? A dirty-looking man starts to talk to me as he walks by. Man says, "Are you a first-timer? What are you waiting for? Don't be embarrassed. We all know this place. Just go inside." Franz, "Excuse me. The best girls are only available later at night, but you'll be able to find someone to suit you even now." "What are you talking about?" "Don't pretend, boy. You're here to have fun with a girl, right? Or maybe you just want to see some tits? They might let you look for free if you pretend you're lost." No, I'm not here for that." Realizing what kind of place it is, I quickly turn and walk away. Frederick Godwin. Why did he do this to me? Sure, he might have been annoyed because I asked for funding, but he didn't have to make me come all the way out here out of spite. My heart is beating fast. Now, how do I get back to the city? I try to retrace my steps quickly. I don't hate pearls, but that doesn't mean I fancy being around them. Soon, I'm lost. Each corner looks as dirty, dark, and decrepit as the last. Nothing stories me as familiar. At intersections, I now pick roads purely by instinct, my only clue being that roads near the city are supposed to be wider. Following this reasoning, at last I come across an open area with a wide road. Unlike the dark alleys and the slum, this place is bathed in orange light from the setting sun. I'm relieved to have found my way back to the city. Thank my intelligence. Except the place doesn't look like the city at all. If anything, it is more rural. I walk some more before spotting a site on which stand a number of large old buildings. From it comes the sound of machinery, of labor, and of magic being cast. Magical mechanical. I know I should be going back to find the roads that will take me back to the city, but somehow I am drawn to the site. When I finally stop walking, I'm already standing in front of its rusty gate. On it, a sign reads, Magical Mechanical Limited. Magical Mechanical? I see, this must be a factory where magic machines are assembled. The sun is setting. Now we're going and taking the role of Elise, or whatever her name is. The sun setting marks the end of my shift. I glance around the factory building, see the road, and some small buildings painted orange by the setting sun. I slip my left hand in my apron pocket. The vial is still there. Jesus. Are you really going to do it? Jude is getting ready to leave for home. Yeah. You know it's not going to work, right? I don't reply. Sighs. See you tomorrow, Elise. See you. I watch silently as Jude leaves the factory. When I can no longer see her, I too make my way outside, but instead of exiting the gate, I make a right turn. After circling the factory, I arrive and find what I was looking for. Now we're back to Franz. I circle the factory, cautiously moving along its fence. I don't know what it is I'm looking for, but I keep surveying the complex. After a while, I find a small opening that leads me to a place like a small backyard. I enter slowly, but stop when I see someone. A girl. She's around my age, perhaps younger. She's dressed in a factory uniform. Her shoulder-length hair is disheveled, but it's not unsightly. A small braid runs behind her right ear, but not the left. An asymmetry makes her unusually special, especially considering her surroundings. She is sitting in an old piano that's set in the middle of this abandoned yard behind the factory building, as unusual and out of place as the beautiful lady who sits at it is in the middle of these slums. She reaches out to the piano with her right hand and gently presses a key, right in the middle of the keyboard. Silence. Now we're going back to Elise. Having failed to produce any sound with the middle F key, I try an octave higher to the right. More silence. Not surprising. This piano has been broken since the day it was made, for all I know, but I always like to begin like this. My family had this same model when I was a small child, which I used to play many times. My parents even say I was pretty good at it, but we know what parents say about everything their kid does. I found this piano here by accident about a month ago. Nobody knows who dumped it here. Since then, I have been coming here after work almost every day just to be near the piano. For some reason, being with it relaxes me. Now we're back to Franz. The girl sits there motionless for a while. Then suddenly, she produces a small vial of bluish liquid. I've seen that liquid enough times to be able to tell what it is right away. Curcuma xanthorrhiza, or Timulawak, as it is called in its native land. In this kingdom, we call it manna. What is she going to do with it? Back to Elise. Am I really going to do it? I'm sorry for lying to you, Mr. Nelton. I actually drank the potion from lunch break. I'll find a way to make up for this somehow. I gaze at the drink in my hand again. Yes, I'm going to do it. I carefully take the cap off the vial, bring the vial to my lips, and empty it. Back to Franz. Having drunk the manna, the girl brings both her hands slightly above the piano, palms facing down, as though giving it her blessing. Back to Elise. I close my eyes. If anyone saw me right now, she'd think I was in the middle of doing mental preparation before performing a sonata. I feel compassion building up. She's going to, but no, she can't be thinking of, no. Nobody can fix a broken thing with healing magic. Compassion magic can only affect living beings. You can heal a man or a woman, or a child or animal, but not a piano. We'll see about that, huh? Back to Elise. Compassion. Transform. Amplify. Ta-da! I like that sound effect. That the game made, not that I made. Alright, so I assume we're going to go back to Franz and hear a surprise. Did she repair the piano? Okay. Light day, 26 Sextilis, AM 3:13. 3:13 in the morning, huh? Alright, who are we now? Back to Frederick. Lord Goblin says, Thanks for coming to my house, John. Professor says, Always a pleasure, Geoff. Sorry guys, I don't remember the voices I use for everybody, so I'm just going to have to wing it the best I can. Franz is here. It's an honor to meet you, Lord Godwin. My name is Franz Byron, a student of Professor Poe's. My father is having a meeting with a famous professor from Conservatoire de Overture to evaluate yesterday's event, as well as discuss potential projects that may receive support from Magical Mechanical MM. Because I attended the symposium yesterday, my father insisted that I be here. What a pain in the ass. What I don't understand is why that student is also in this room. In fact, isn't he supposed to be at the conservatoire? Even though it's light day and there are no classes, at least he could have the decency to do his homework and be far away from me. Originally, people only rested from work on Sunday, but sometime in the last century they decided that they would work 5 days a week instead of 6. Light day joined Sunday to make the modern weekend. So light day is Saturday? That's what it sounds like. Professor Poe says, So, yesterday's symposium. And Gatlin says, Yes, MM will be having a shareholder meeting next week, and I'm thinking of proposing to invest in some research projects that have potential to bring good returns for the company. All our representatives have submitted their recommendations to me, but I also want to hear your opinion. Not all our representatives, Father. I don't remember giving enough of a damn to write a report. Professor Poe says, Ho ho ho, now I'm obviously biased, but if I may, I'd like to suggest my own student's research project. Goblin says, a student project? Which one is that? Franz says, is the one about the study of compassion magic, my lord. Oh, that. Any other projects you can recommend, Joanne? Father is harsh. He completely disregards Poe's idea without any comment whatsoever. My lord, if you're interested, I can give you more details about my research. My father eyes the student coldly, without turning his head. I think I've heard enough details from our own experts. With all due respect to Professor Poe, your advisor and my friend, I have to tell you that our team of experts have decided that your research is unlikely to produce anything of value. Francis. Well, I think a scientific theory that will lead to the creation of compassion magic machines would be very, very valuable indeed. I think you misunderstand. I'm not saying that the result you're hoping to get from research would be worthless. What I am saying is that it's unlikely to yield such a result. Our team of experts at Magical Mechanical have concluded that it is very improbable that your research will succeed. Dang. Professor Poe says, Joff, while I agree that the project is very ambitious, I believe it is still worth pursuing for. Even if it ultimately fails, we will surely gain valuable insights into compassion magic, which will enrich our understanding of magic in general. Godwin says, John, I agree with you, and indeed, I commend the student for choosing to undertake this important research. However, Magic Mechanical is a business. Our goal is not to understand magic for its own sake. We require a monetary return on investment, either through a new product or improved functionality of an existing product. If your research is purely academic, you're better off asking for funding from the king. Oh, the conservatory itself is a public institution, so we're already being funded by the monarchy. Unfortunately, most of that money is used for operational costs. There's very little left for research projects. Godwin says. They both pause. Franz pauses. Is it my turn to say something? I'm still not sure why I was even called here. Whether Father wants to fund this silly project or not is none of my business. Franz says, Actually, just yesterday, I think I might have discovered the key to making compassion magic work on non-living beings. I saw something very extraordinary near the MM factories. May I tell the story? Lord Godwin says, You were in the industry district? Go ahead. Franz says, Well, yeah, I was lost in the Pearls district yesterday, and from there happened to stumble upon a MM factory. The student gives me a quick glance before continuing. Franz says, I circled the factory and by chance came across this girl who was sitting at a broken piano. I don't know why she did it, but she cast Revive on it, on a broken piano. Casting Revive on a piano? What a stupid thing to do. Revive only revitalizes damaged cells. It can only heal, not bring the dead back to life. Was she hoping the piano would transform back into a tree? At that moment, of course, the area was filled with a white light, and just then I felt that I heard the piano made a sound. When the light subsided, I saw the girl, and I could tell that she had also heard it. But when she pressed the piano keys again, there was only silence. Only then I realized that there was never any sound. I must have imagined it. But at that exact moment the spell was cast, I was very sure it had fixed the piano. It was a novel experience, and I would like to conduct some experiments to see if the phenomenon is quantifiable. Everyone is silent for a second. We're trying to make sense of a story. Godwin says, But it didn't make a sound, did it? No, the piano was still broken after she cast the magic spell. Then you haven't discovered anything. Professor poses. I personally find this story very interesting. Franz knows magic well. If he feels that the girl's magic was abnormal, it is definitely worth looking into. Colin says, you said this was a factory? Was this girl a factory worker? Uh-oh, he's going to find out who it was. Franz says, yes, I was sure she was. She was a teenage girl about 14 to 16 years old. She was dressed in a factory uniform. Her hair was down to her shoulder, and she had a braid that ran behind her right ear. Huh? Wait, that girl? Wait, did you say she had a braid? Everyone looks at me suddenly, as if I were a ghost that had just stepped through a wall. Ron says, yes, behind her right ear. What about the left? No, definitely only on the right side. Frederick, if you must ask questions, ask something relevant to the discussion. There is no mistake. It was definitely her. It was that angel. It was the beautiful girl I saw in front of Maison de Beauvoir. Ha ha ha! What's wrong with being interested in a girl, Joff? Father, in my opinion, it will be good for Magical Mechanical to fund his research project. I quickly direct the discussion back to that student's research before I'm found out. I've only got one shot at this. My father raises an eyebrow while the rest of his face is unchanged. He's unimpressed. I bet he was born with that face. Congratulations, ma'am. It's a boy. Oh, how is my baby, doctor? Well, from looking at his face, I think he wants to see a proposal on how you and your husband plan to provide him with the best environment to grow up and study. Probably like that. Lord Godwin says, explain. Ahem. Here goes. I think you need to look at it from a different angle. Magical Mechanical could fund his research not as an investment, but as a marketing campaign aimed at improving the company's image in academia. By funding a purely academic research project, MM can claim that it is helping to advance science. We would be promoting our corporate social responsibility. It will make Magical Mechanical more popular among the students. When they graduate, more of them will want to work for Magical Mechanical. And if you think about it, this is much cheaper than the kind of advertising Magic Mechanical normally does. It's just a student project anyway. There is only one researcher and the salary is lower than an average magical mechanical scientist or engineer. Other than salary, he'd only need money to buy equipment and maybe pay for a few assistants. All taken together, it still amounts to little more than a rounding error for Magical Mechanical. Now, my father's other eyebrow is also raised. His mouth is slightly open, but it is still silent. I bet he never knew that his son was so shrewd about business. Ha! The younger Lord Godwin made a pretty sound argument. What do you think, Joff? Well, I think it can't hurt Magical Mechanical to fund this project. My father's face returns to its normal expression, completely emotionless. After all, I can see its magic already. Amazing. What do you mean? It makes my son interested in a science project. It doesn't get much more magical than that. Ha ha ha! I have to say, that even surprises me. I managed to convince my father, but it wasn't really my argument that made my father change his mind. I don't know if I should be happy about this. Franz says, thank you very much, my lord. I promise I'll deliver a good result with this project. After that, Father and the Professor talk about several other research projects. The student and I don't speak another word. Francis. Thanks, Frederick. Thanks to you, Lord Godwin agreed to fund my project. My father and the professor have left together after the meeting. I don't know where they're going. Don't mention it. Oh, and by the way, to be honest, I was a bit irritated yesterday after you sent me to that place. It was rather panicked when I found out what kind of place it was. Haha. Haha, and you really got me there. But I'm not angry, because now I know that you sincerely wanted to help me, and only gave me that address as a joke. But how did you get that place's address anyway? Silence! What a dolt. If my father were still here and heard about me going to the Maison, I'd be fed to a dragon. Well, so to speak. Dragons aren't real, of course. What is this? A fantasy land? By the way, can you bring that girl here tomorrow? That girl? The factory worker who tried to fix a broken piano. Oh, do you want to meet her? I want to see her compassion magic with my own eyes. Oh, yes, of course, you must be really interested in compassion magic, haha. Wink, wink. I will have you smitten, you fool. And says, okay, I'll find and bring her here tomorrow. I don't know why I want to see that girl so much, to be honest. She is beautiful, but she isn't the only beautiful girl in Overture. I guess there's just something about her that's different from all the other girls. After Franz brings the girl here tomorrow, I won't have any need for him anymore. To hell with his nonsensical research. I tell him, great, good luck on your research. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Frederick. Thanks again for your help. All right, so with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. This is episode 6. This episode was definitely more interesting than my last part I did several months ago back in May, part 5. Part 6 is definitely picking up the interest a little bit. I'm more kind of curious to see how this meeting between Frederick and Elise goes, because we know that he kind of had a crush on her from way back in whatever part it was, 3 or whatever it was, where he first saw her. And remember, she works at that basically the slut house. So this is getting pretty interesting. So we'll probably be back with part 7 here pretty soon here on my channel. Be sure you leave in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think of an Octave Higher. Also, one other note here. If you guys are watching this right now, it's like right now it's October the 9th. I believe until the morning of October the 12th, this weekend anyway, an Octave Higher, you can actually buy it on Steam for only about $3.50 in American money. It's like 75% off or something. So it's normally like $12, and so it's on sale right now for like right around $3.50. So I'll have the link down below in the description where you can go buy this game if you want to go ahead and buy it, whether it's on sale or not. At the time that you watch this video, I have no idea. I do know that it's on sale right now at the time that I'm recording this video. So anyway, leave me the comments down below. Be sure you rate my video. This has been Zaxter99, and this has been part 6 of an Octave Higher, and I look to be right back here with part 7 in the near future. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. This has been Zaxter99. Take care.